The 101st and Easy Company, they were without winter clothing, low on rations and ammunition, and all the while they were taking intense artillery fire. But ultimately, they defeated the Germans. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Storming Cellar. I hope you enjoyed part one of the last Band of Brothers. Today, I'll continue my interview with Mr. Brad, as he likes to be called, the last living member of the Band of Brothers. First, I'd like to give you a little bit of history on Easy Company. On June 5th, under what was called Operation Neptune, paratroopers from the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions, they took off from U Pottery, England, and other air bases to be airdropped behind enemy lines at night to support the main assault on June 6 at the beaches of Normandy. Now, Utah Beach was what they were assigned, and this was called Operation Overlord. The U.S. Army Air Force's 9th Troop Carrier Command, flying hundreds of C-47s, carried 13,000 paratroopers of the 82nd and 101st into Normandy. The 439th Carrier Group flew Easy Company to their drop zone. Easy Company's mission then was to secure Causeway 2, and that led to Utah Beach, where the main U.S. force was to land in the early morning hours. And that would have allowed, once they secured the beach, that would have allowed them to move freely up that road and inland into France. Unfortunately, they were dropped miles from their objective, and it wasn't just the 101st and 82nd. They were scattered all over France that night. So once they finally regrouped, they immediately were ordered to destroy 4 heavy German artillery guns located at Brecourt Manor. Those guns would be firing on the U.S. invasion force at Utah Beach, so it's critical that they take those things out. Once they secured the beaches at Normandy, following D-Day, the D-Day invasion, Easy moved on to engage in many other battles to come. I won't name them all, but they were at Curitan, Operation Market Garden, Somme Bridge, Operation Pegasus close to Arnhem, where they rescued over 100 British soldiers. And then, of course, in Belgium, the Battle of the Bulge, where they were encircled by the German army. The 101st and Easy Company, they were without winter clothing, low on rations and ammunition, and all the while they were taking intense artillery fire. But ultimately, they defeated the Germans. After that, they were basically an occupation force of Berchtesgaden, Germany, and Austria. And that's pretty much a God's eye view of a lot of the things they did, nowhere near the heroism or anything that these guys did, but just to give you an idea. So now, let's go to part 2 of my interview with Mr. Brad. June 5th, you guys loaded up for the takeoff. What was your thoughts when you were about to enter that C-47 and know what your ultimate mission is going to be? Were you calm or anxious?
Well, what wasn't playing was studying stuff. I was studying this stuff with the officers because I had worked for the government measuring cotton and stuff, and with the maps, and I could tell them about where was wet water, which way the airplane was flying, and all that kind of stuff. And they had me busy with that. It wasn't no problem, but you could tell the difference, and you could tell if somebody went so the way they packed it down when they was walking. Mm-hmm. And so you could do that with looking around, and it was, and we got that done. Well, I was all right.
It's kind of quiet on the airplane, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of talk, not a lot of chatter.
Nobody said nothing.
Yep.
And whenever we got between the Guernsey and Jersey Islands, we got ACAC. And that's when we got on. petty, and so he couldn't. He could. They wouldn't let him jump no how without that. So it'd been wrong. So they kept him.
There were a lot of troopers that jumped between the 82nd and 101st Airborne. 13,400 of you jumped using C-47s. Was the drop zones deconflicted between the 82nd and the 101st?
They were different, but some of those planes ran, and they both got mixed up. Whenever you went, I don't know what they said about it, but anyway, we went through the cloud. We flew through the cloud, and that was just, I guess that was just saving. Or I don't know nothing about it, but whenever you come out, you was in a beautiful, just white cloud going that way just fast, and you bailed out when you jumped.
You got the red light, and you stood up. Green light, and you jumped.
Yeah.
I guess people were pretty excited. I understand that your equipment check was kind of, folks forgot to do that before you jumped. Is that correct?
You just look. You put that left hand up there with, or either your right hand, whichever one on the side that you're standing. I always stood on one of my left hand to get the cable. And you better be, you can jerk it. See that it's hooked.
Yeah, that it can be a bad thing. Who was the first one out of the airplane generally?
Yeah, I think I was supposed to be the first fella I was supposed to fall out of it. I was sitting down looking at the light.
Oh, wow. So was it usually an officer or an NCO that was the first one out, or were they the last ones?
I don't know where they were, but no.
You were just worried about, hey, I got to get out of this thing, right?
Yeah.
Now
it was a good clean thing, and when we went between the Kearns and Jersey Islands, we got flak, and it was popping, and Boynton up there, Petty, O'Neill Petty or something, and a bullet come through one of them planes, and whenever they were shooting, and hit his safety, his extra chute. And it come unfolded, and he didn't get to jump till it cleared up, till the weather cleared.
that's right.
And then he had to jump. It was a few jumped after that.
Oh, okay.
So he was, I don't know, he was down back somewhere in my plane. He didn't get out. But I can tell you one thing, he could handle a thing with his good size. He could handle that air cool thing. He had some way or another, he could, a whole belt could go from around his neck and all.
Oh, wow.
And through that machine gun. He threw the bipods away, but he could spray it.
Did you have any fighter escort going over the first time?
We had there when we went between the Gardens and Jersey Island, we had flat stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And you could, it was hitting the plane, making a racket. We were about ready to hook up then.
Yeah. So your jump, you actually, when it was time, you got the green light and you out the door you went. What was your thoughts as you exited the C-47?
We didn't see it. No, whenever we was where they couldn't see one another. See, so told us to jump in a different place, but we got together pretty quick. That we were told if you was in the middle of the thing that you stayed for a little while till you see whether somebody was coming your way or you had to go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the way we got together. You waited and see which way the plane was coming, and
Mm-hmm.
then you could go. And you waited till somebody got weak.
So you landed, no problems, hit the ground, yeah.
I landed in a pasture with some calves, white face. I told them made me sick of home.
Now your objective when this mission was that to secure Curitan? Was that your objective?
Yeah.
So everybody got back together and you went in and secured that, okay.
Yes, no, he took 13 boys. He did, and the rest of us put on road duty. We didn't let nothing come down the road. If it did, you took care of it. Boy, it got to you.
Yeah, right.
But that didn't nothing come down mine. I was happy.
That's the way to be, right?
Yeah.
So Major Winters, he had a patrol that went out to take out, was this 88s?
Yeah.
And that was firing on Normandy Beach at the time. Were you involved in that, or
Yeah.
was that did you go with that patrol?
No.
Is that when you were guarding the roads?
We're guarding the
Okay.
road. And then they come back and then they blowed the guns up after they got.
Saved a lot of
Yeah, one
guys.
boy got shot. He got through the hip,
Yep.
and didn't hit a bone or nothing. And no, he just kept going with us because he didn't have no place to go.
Right.
No, couldn't go to nothing, and just found road with it. He took care of him, took it.
Rose, good guy. So after you secured all that, you guys headed back to England for a couple of months, right? For training.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody was happy about that.
Well, they got all regrouped and everything, but since I had the knee problem when I was still going to see the road, and he's taking it out, and I was working in officers' mess. I was handling that with them, and had a good time.
Good.
Doing nothing between time. And the rest of them was in training, and then training them one to go on new ones.
Market Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed my interview with Mr. Brad as he continued to reflect on his time with Easy Company during D-Day and beyond. Please be sure to watch part 3 of The Last of Band of Brothers, where we'll talk about the movie and the book and things of that nature that he was integrally part of. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave any comments you have down below. So until next time, remember to make all of your takeoff and landings equal. Have a great day.